Hello and welcome to Base Plate Reviews. So we've got a bit of a city update today, a bit more building going on, and last time I left you I'd put these boxes into the city because we're going to have this raised section there with the train tracks going through, so a tunnel. And these boxes, these IKEA boxes, are 12 bricks high plus a base plate, but we figured out that's not quite big enough to get a cargo train carrying some cars through. So I actually need to raise this up another 3 bricks, so we're talking about 15 bricks high, and this will be the kind of roadway just here going all the way up through. But we're going to want the buildings, just like we've got in the regular city, to be sat higher than the road. So we're going to need to raise actually these whole sections up 15 bricks plus another couple of plates. I think I've got maybe enough parts for that. Certainly brick wise, I mean it's going to be a lot just here in this section, 2x2 bricks. I've got 40 of them there. That's going to need to be multiplied up by 3, so that's 120 just in that small section. And then we've got to do that all the way up through, all the way up that side. So we're talking about several hundred 2x2s. Have got quite a few of them, and did pick up a few more the other day in the Lego store from the pick brick wall. Not too many though. The other thing I was hoping to find actually were these kind of support beams, because I think you'll see we haven't got quite enough to go all the way through the tunnel. I actually have got a bit of a solution for that. I was thinking I might have to put an order in, but I think that some parts we picked up a couple of months ago should do the business with those. It might need a bit of rebuilding, but not too much of a problem. So the way that I've got this, if I take the plate off there, we can see a bit better, is I'm going one beam in this instance, because we're at the front of the tunnel. We're actually going 1 then 2, but in general 1 beam then 2 beams together, then 1 beam then 2 beams, 1 2. So I think we can do something to kind of replicate that, but using a different part. Still a good structural element, but we'll go and see what that is in a second. So this is the part that we've used to get the height for supporting the roads for that raised section of the city. Really nice kind of element, load of structural strength to it. I just don't have quite enough of those. I was hoping maybe I'd find some in the Lego store, because we visited on Sunday, but actually I've got a part which picked up a load of these from the pick brick wall a few months ago, and they should provide the structural support. They're exactly the same height as these ones, so that's perfect. These are having to sit on top of bricks anyway, and then bricks on top, so that's not crucial that they're the same height anyway, but should be able to use these. There's not obviously as much space kind of width wise for bricks to sit on, but I can always put 2 of these side by side, and then should give us some really nice structural support for the roadway. The other thing that I was saying about there was that we're going to have to build the part that's not the roadway, so the rest of it a couple of plates higher, and I've actually got all of these 2x2 plates. Got an absolute ton of them here. Still not sure that's going to be quite enough, but should be a good start, and maybe I'll just have to use some other plates that span across bricks just there. Like I say, we did make a trip to the Lego store on Sunday, so did the pick brick wall and did a whole load of stacking so that we could get as many parts as possible. So 2 boxes, 22 Canadian dollars, and got a load of 1x4 brick here, filled up with a load of 1 by blue tile there, kind of sand blue. Got some of these pieces which I think will be useful, some gold leaves, and in here there are a load of blue plates. I've got some kind of profile 1x2 bricks, and we do also have 2x2 2x2 brick here as well. I've got it packed in so well, it's actually difficult to get this out. So believe me when I say I've got a load of 2x2 brick. This is actually 2x4 brick here, but in my other box we have got a load of 2x2 brick, and they've had to tape the boxes up because they had them so well packed. So in here got some snot brick type pieces so we can do some stuff on the facades. Got a load of these kind of fence pieces, these gold fence pieces, and you can see how I stacked them all there. I think these are going to be pretty useful for the Chinatown section of the city. Should be able to do some windows and stuff with those if we kind of put them like this against each other. And that's actually some of the techniques that's used in the family reunion set from this year, the Chinese restaurant. Like I say, we did get more brick, so some 1x3 brick there, a load of white kind of bar fence pieces, again should be pretty useful in the city. And then I promised, well, we got these kind of ladder pieces as well, which I thought were interesting, could be used for some things. But we did also, underneath all this stuff, and the reason I can't get them out is because I actually locked them in place with a plate on top. Did get a few more 2x2 bricks, so that's going to help with building up that section of the city. This obviously wasn't enough, $44 worth, to get gift with purchase, but we did get the gift with purchase because my wife got a brick head. I think it was the Stitch brick head, and also a discounted botanical set because there was some damage on the box. I think this is a fireworks display, so fireworks celebrations, and this was well timed with Canada Day here in Canada and also 4th of July down in the US. It's not exactly an amazing gift with purchase, but got some interesting stuff there. Looks like we're, it's very recognisable as a fireworks display, and I think that's all you can ask for. But yeah, because I've got those pieces, I think we'll crack on with trying to build up that section of the raised section of the city. So I told you I had a load of these girder pieces, and they're all there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on replacing some of these blue structural elements with these, probably where you can see that there's a couple beside each other. We'll build these up in stacks of 2x2 like that, and should get the same results. The other thing I'll do is replace these ones at the front here, because if I push a train just around, we can see that there is not a lot of clearance just here. Now this train here is okay clearance wise, but some of the passenger trains with kind of longer noses aren't, and I think if I can replace that blue bit with just a single line like that, should give us that extra stud of space, and we should have plenty of clearance just at the front. Once the trains are going through, not a problem, it's just when it's on the corner, on the bends. The other thing that I've noticed is from my parts collection, some of these girders actually have these red Technic elements helping to lock them together, and I do, if we move here, have a few of those. I actually planned on building an extra level crossing, so these pieces are sat inside here to lock all these pieces together. Now what these mean are that instead of, so these ones don't have that in, and they come apart pretty easily, as Lego tends to. But once we've got these sections in, if I clip, try and do this left-handed whilst I hold the camera, that's a tricky situation, isn't it? If I put one down on the table, it becomes a lot easier. once I lock these together, they are nice and rock solid. So I think I'll put at least one pin in each of those, since these are going to be used for very much as structural elements, and who knows how heavy that road will be once we start putting stuff all on top of it. So I think I'll get those locked together, build this up, and then we should be able to complete right down to the back there, and we'll be halfway there. I replaced a few of those blue structural pieces with the yellow ones, and that's allowed us to go all the way down to the end of the tunnel there. Both sides, all the structure in place, and they are attached to the actual boxes. We've got the bricks just here locking it all into place, so we've got a nice solid secure structure, and I've built up all the way around, all the way down to the end. This to be 3 bricks high. Still needs to go another couple of plates for this bit. The roads will sit just here, but from here onwards it does need to be a couple of plates higher. That's not a problem, and of course I'll need to do the internal pieces as well. One of the problems I will have once all these plates are secure and in place is that, unlike the rest of the city, which is on proper mills plates which I can just pick up, move over to the build desk and kind of build stuff on them there, these are going to be kind of stuck here, so going to have to do a bit more building on the actual Lego table, certainly if it's anything which kind of spans across plates. I might be able to do a bit of it across the desk, but it's going to be tricky. The other problem I've got is I just don't know if I'm going to have enough bricks as it stands to do all of this. I mean, these aren't enough as it stands. They need to come another 2 bricks higher, and also have a couple of plates on, and I've got to replicate that all the way down there and all the way down there. I might not need to go quite as intensive as I've done it here. That do need to do that if I'm going to use smaller plates, but if I've got bigger plates I should be okay. Now I'm saying I don't have enough pieces. I've got a massive bag of dark greys there and another load of 2x2s there, but even with that I don't know if it's going to be enough. What I'll do is I will, instead of trying to build the whole lot, I'll build around here first, build up these sections, and then see how it goes. But yeah, it might be some more parts ordering or a visit to the Lego store hoping they've got some 2x2 bricks. But I'm going to start getting that built up a bit more and then put some plates on to show you exactly what it will look like. I've got those 2x2 brick stacks all lined up here, taking up about a third of the span that they're going to need to. And actually it's reminded me of some of the kind of droid armies that people build, Lego Star Wars builders build. Probably a bit less expensive than those, to be fair. But what I wanted to do is just check whether I can use any colour at this level. So these are just here, you should be able to see, this is raised a couple of plates higher. That's the level that this is going to need to sit at. So beside the roads, so that the roads are a tiny bit lower than the sidewalk beside them. And I wanted to check whether I could use any colour at this level or whether I do need to go for the darker colours. So I've got some kind of plate with tile on top, both light bluish grey. And I'm just going to put that down and see whether we can see that green kind of peeking through. And unfortunately it does look like we are seeing that, so that means I'm going to have to make sure that all the way along, that at least at that level, the level below should be fine, that I do need to use some darker colours so it doesn't shine through like that. I am planning on doing the roads this kind of cobble effect. This is just very rough, so I could test whether I could see the thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get up one road plate built, just a mock one, see whether I like it, and I should finish the video off just after that, and we can start to see this come together, get a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like in the future. Super quick speed build here, just 20 seconds, and it's just to show you how I'm building this road plate up, this cobbled road. I didn't want it to be completely monochrome, so just the light greys and the dark greys. So I've added a tiny bit of colour in there, but nothing too extravagant, and there's plenty of places for minifigs and other things to be attached to the roads. That's our 16 by 16 plate, kind of fully cobbled. So 16 by 16, that means 256 studs to get covered up, which is why I've used this combination of the 2x2 round tiles and the single round tiles and studs, also some jumper tiles there. Lots of connection points for minifigs, etc. But if I get this put into place, should see why I wanted these sections to be a couple of studs higher. And that's because we've got these storm drains just there, and gives us that bit of depth. We can see where the water's running away. The other thing that was important to just double check with this is just how big these parade vehicles are, and they look like they're about 12 or so studs wide, 16 studs here, so they fit into place nicely. One of the things I have noticed with the IKEA boxes is if I press down on here, you might not be able to see it too well, there are some places where there's a fair amount of give. It's pretty spongy, pretty springy, and that makes it difficult just to connect up the plates here. Unfortunately, the internal of the boxes isn't studded, so the bottom's not studded, so I can't kind of put some bricks in there to just reinforce it. But maybe if it becomes problematic, if the kind of whole area up here comes a bit too heavy, we might need to just kind of peel some of the bricks off here and put something inside the boxes just to reinforce it. I don't think I'm going to build all of this to the whole way back right this second. I don't know that I'll have the parts, but also just the will of doing it. Obviously it's pretty parts intensive, pretty labour intensive, but what I'll do is I will build a couple more of these, so we'll have 3 of them. That'll cover a full IKEA box length, and we should be able to start building the front section of the Chinatown up here. Next thing to do will be to actually get the City of Lanterns Monkey Kid set built, and I'll do a quick review of that as well, and then we can start thinking about how we mock that to fit up here in this section. I do need to start doing the same with this set, which is the family reunion, the Chinese restaurant set, and some of the others, so just get them modified a little, built onto plate switch, accommodate for up here. But yeah, pretty good start, and lots more to come. A bit of proof there that the parade vehicle does fit properly onto the roadway, and yeah, I think it's not looking too bad. Obviously it's pretty parts intensive, and like I say, a lot of work as well, so I can't do everything all at once, but hopefully you can see it is properly coming along. Facades of course will need to be built as well. I need to decide exactly what I'm going to do there, whether I have the same facades here as I will when we move around to this section of the city. I think that's where we can have some steps leading up, so that probably needs to be more polished than this section at the front, which might be more naturalistic, maybe a kind of rock facade, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. You can see that it's properly coming along, and yeah, lots and lots of work to do, but it's all pretty exciting. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and to those of you that are subscribed already, thank you very much. If you aren't subscribed but would like to see more of this and see how it comes along over the next few weeks and months, then hit the subscribe button, it's really appreciated. And as always, be good.